What's up, everyone? This is DemonTHD, and welcome back to my channel. And we have something a little bit different. It's not a custom car, it's a tutorial on how to make this Kevin Harvick number 4. Never done it before. It's always kind of scared me since like last year, so it's about time I tried it, and I have some cool Kevin Harvick cars coming on the way. So I thought I'd show you how to make it. Now, in the brush, it does look pretty weird, I will admit, yeah, because it's not sized the right way. You can fix that obviously on the car. You can stretch it out a little bit, and it's just how I made it in the brush. So it's one of those numbers where you really don't need it to look exactly how it does on the car, as long as you know the proportions of everything, and that'll help you stretch it out when you actually put it on that car. So yeah, so just start. It's really not as hard as it looks, but it's tricky at sometimes. I think it's way more harder than everyone, way more easier than everyone thinks. Although it is definitely difficult at some parts. You can see the bottom is pretty tricky, so I'm going to go over that. Started. So usually what I do is I'd throw like, for example, this isn't, I didn't place these triangles here. They naturally came there because I just put 3 rectangles. Started with the red ones. We'll just say I did for an example. So there's one red one, and then a thinner one. So this one's going to be a little bit thinner than this one. And then obviously the big, the most thick one coming all the way down to about like, around here. So you're trying to get this part first is what you're trying to do. Now make this side the thickest, make this one the thinnest, make this one a bit thicker than this one. So it should be the first thickest, the second thickest, and the third thickest, which is the thinnest right there, obviously. And once you do that, you should have a nice little triangle structure and some more space over here. You want this part to stick out a little bit as well. And then when you come on down here, this is all one big solid square. If you can't tell, and I color blocked some of that bottom right there, and I'll show you how I did that. So what I did from the bottom is I came down there and used some of these. If I can find the layer. Yeah, it's gonna be up here somewhere. So I just used you saw it blend in right there. I just kind of used the, glitching out right now. You can see the kind of decal I use. I'll just go on it right here. I really don't need to place it for you, but it's one of these things. There we go. And I just rotated it. Okay, dude, shut up. Yeah, see what happens is that this is on a. Yeah, this is on a new file because I ran out of space, so I transferred my paint scheme file over to this one, and now he tells me what everything does every single time. It just never stopped. But I scaled it down to about here and just kind of placed it like right there. Skewed it a little bit to make it go along with the rest of the number. Then put a black one. And then this part's definitely extra tricky because we'll get to the outline now. So what I did for the outline, we'll get back to this, don't worry. What I did for the outline is that I figured that it's going to be very hard because this number has a weird little kind of drop shadow outline, as you can see right there. Kind of like a little corner right there. And it's a bit of a drop shadow. So I figured that it's going to be hard to kind of do that in the freaking car. So, behind the number. So, what I did is as you can see all these black squares right here. I did it over the number. So that's literally like a thin little rectangle square. So, what I did for the inside though, I went back into this first big rectangle layer, changed it to black, and then stamped white over it, and then went behind it. And I did that behind the number, like usual, like you're supposed to do. So that's easy. If you have any questions about that, because that is pretty tricky. Yeah, for the rest of the number, I just went down, did that little corner thing. You just skew the corner of the square and do it, and make this side of the outline a little bit thicker than this one. This one, of course, being pretty thick too. And then when you work your way down here, yeah, as you can obviously tell, these are the little decal I showed you, just one of those. And what I did for this side is that I just made a like a big, you know, straight sort of black little curvy decal right there, and then I added a white one over it. And you want to try to stretch it out like it is right there, so it doesn't curve so much when you cover that black right there. You want it to be a little straight. And obviously you want these parts to line up, you know. You want everything to be skewed the right way, you want everything to be on the right skew angle. And yeah, you want that triangle on the inside to be pretty big. You don't want it to be too small, and you don't want to make the number too thick, because when it's too small, it really makes the number just look, you know, I mean, it is a thick number at points, obviously, but if you look at the actual number, I'll bring up a picture of the red one. I'll find one here, a good one. Yeah, that's probably yeah, you want it to look something like that. And that's, you know, look how thin that side is right there. Look how thin that is. You want it to look like that as well, in proportion to everything else. So, you may be thinking, well, it looks kind of weird in the brush. Of course it does. Like everything. Let me say this real quick, because I just changed colors on this thing. I'm going to throw it out of this car, and probably do a few good Harvick cars. A lot of them are tough to actually do right, and I just can't do something half-assed. I gotta do it, you know, I gotta do it the best I can. So I'm gonna be trying a lot of things. So here it is. It's gonna be hard to. I never placed one of these things before. I literally placed one last night, and that's about it. So it's not right. I'll move around a little bit. You wanna, yeah. Oh, that's the wrong one. You wanna always stretch it out a little bit. That's what I'm going to do, at least for mine. I think it has to be stretched out a little bit. This is hard to do, definitely, with one controller, with one hand. It's a little crooked, but you get the point. That's what you're basically supposed to do. Still doesn't look right, but I don't know, something like that. I really don't know. But yeah, you want it to look basically something like that. So I hope this kind of helped. It gives you a basis, sort of idea to do this. And that's what my goal is for every number, to give you guys a good general idea of how to work on it on your own, and hopefully you get it pretty good. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more NASCARs.